Just can't find enough time to sit down and make some cards? Well, today we are going to use stamp, ink, and paper and solve that problem. Hi, welcome to Creative Moments by G. I'm G, and we are going to make some fabulous Christmas and fall cards with you today. Now, as we create these cards, remember, you can use this template for a birthday card, any kind of occasion that you have. So let's head down to the crafting table and let's get busy. Make sure that you stay with us because I have 2 more cards to show you. But the first thing you're going to need to do is get your cardstock and let's cut a top fold card. Now the way I do it is I turn it long ways. I score at 5 1/2 and then I cut at 4 1/4. And the reason I do it that way is this way I cut 2 cards. So I have this card that I can use in another video. And I have today's card. We're just going to fold that over and give it a good crease with our bone folder. Now the next thing that you want to do is you want to have a mat cut, and the size of this mat is 2 3/4 by 5 1/2 because we are just going to stamp this with a beautiful decoration, and then we're going to do a little bit of blending. Now if you have a stamp that you don't have to blend, all the better. It's going to save you even more time. But let's go ahead and bring in our stamp. Now the stamp that I'm going to use for our Christmas card is this one because we're going to stamp these poinsettias right here. Let's bring in a piece of paper so that I can stamp off and then we'll start coloring. So here we go. Now I am going to stamp in Night of Navy. Because this is water-based, when I go to use my blends, it will not bleed. So that is something you need to remember. And I really like stamping in Night of Navy because it gives me a dark color that I really want to have. So I'm just going to randomly start stamping these beautiful poinsettias all over. Look at that. So pretty. Now I'm just going to let that dry for just a second and I'm going to bring in my blends. Now I'm using light real red and dark cherry cobbler, and then I'm using my old olive blends. So let's just go ahead and we're going to color these. I'm going to do a little bit of shading. And now I'm going to bring in my cherry cobbler and my real red. And I'm going to use that cherry cobbler just to give a little bit of shading on some of those petals. Now, here we have finished our poinsettias. If you had some extra time, you could go in and add some more shading, but you don't even have to shade these because they already have the lines of definition for you. So you can just use one color to color that and you have this beautiful background. Now, the next thing that we want to do is bring in our card. We are just going to lay this down right in the center. And then I have just a scrap piece of black paper. I'm going to bring in my trimmer and I'm going to cut this at 5.5 because we want it to go the length of the paper. And then I'm just going to cut 1/8 of an inch strip. We want a very small strip, and I'm going to need 2 of those. Now, this saves paper. You could put a mat underneath this, but you really don't need to do that because you just need a little strip. I'm going to use this fantastic glue that I love. It has this long point right here, so it does precision gluing. And I'm just going to roll this down and get some glue right there. Now, look at that tiny strip of glue. Just exactly what I need. Now, I have that, so you don't have to search for it, in my Amazon store. So just check that link out below this video if you're interested. Now, look at that. It's starting to really make it pop. Let's do the other side. Just hold it along the edge and begin gluing. You don't need much, just a few little dots. And look at that beautiful cover. Oh, it's gorgeous. Now we want to put this on the inside, and I want to go ahead and do just a little bit of stamping right here. So let's bring in our paper and let's go ahead and just stamp a little poinsettia just to give it some interest when your recipient opens it back up, right? Now, you can color that or you can leave it black and white. That's kind of pretty, right? But I'm going to go ahead and just give mine a quick color, and I'm not even going to add any shading. I'm just going to color straight on the card. Now we're going to come in with our light real red, and we're using our brush nib because it actually blends faster than if you use your pencil nib. We're going to add this to the inside of our card. And I have already stamped my message, Season's Greetings. I'm going to add it on some dimensionals and add it right across the center of my card. And look at this beautiful card. Took very little time. Stamp, ink, and paper. That is the best technique you can use when you're short of time. Now, let's go ahead and work on our next card. Now, our next card is going to be a fall card, but remember what I said. You can use this for any occasion. Any stamp that you have will work perfectly with this. But we are going to stamp these beautiful pears and these acorns. So, we are using a top fold white plain card. We've cut our mat, and remember, all the measurements will be listed over on creativemomentsbyg.com, as well as the supplies. Now let's bring in that piece of paper and let's begin stamping. Now we are stamping this beautiful pear and the acorns, and we are going to use early espresso for our stamping. Now I'm going to bring in some watercolor pencils, and I'm going to use it right here on the pears, and I'm going to do a little bit of shading. But instead of bringing in water to mix it around, I'm going to go ahead and bring in something very special. So let's just get this colored. Let's color all our pears. I'm going to bring in just a little shading right here where they already have it. Just go in a little bit darker. Now, of course, you can use your blends on this. I just wanted to try something a little different. And now for my leaves, though, I will be using my blends. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of shading, just going over those veins. And now I'm going to bring in some Wink of Stella so that we can blend these pears and make them sparkle at the same time. So let's just get this flowing. Just going over this area. And that is a great technique. When you don't want to use water and you want to get a little bit of shine, look at that shine. Now it's going to dry and shine even more. And I really just want the pears to shine. So now I'm going to come in and I'm going to color these leaves on the acorns kind of different colors. I'm going to use some orange, and they're going to become fall leaves. So we're just going to use a little bit of orange. And it's so much fun to take your blends and just try different colors. Just make those leaves pop. Now I'm going to use the light pumpkin pie. And look at that. It's starting to take shape. Now I'm going to bring in pecan pie, and I'm going to color the little acorns. Now I'm going to use the darker color for the top part of the acorn. And the lighter part for the bottom. And once again, you really don't have to shade these acorns because they already have those lines in there that look like shading. So let's go ahead and add this to our card. Now remember, we're just going to add this right to the front. Oh, it is so pretty, and these colors just really pop. So we're going to cut these strips 5.5 by 1/8. we are going to use our Barely Art glue, and I'm just going to run a bead right here along the edge, right there. Gonna lay down this pumpkin pie strip, and we just grabbed some scraps. Just gonna put it right on the edge. Do the same thing to this side. And look at this card, so pretty. Now I went ahead and I stamped Grateful for You, and we're just going to add it right here in the center of the card on some dimensionals to pop it up. Now I'm going to bring in that paper and I'm going to stamp just a little bit right here in the corner. And here is our second card. Look at that. So quick and easy. You don't have time. You have time for this card. Here is our Christmas card. Remember, use this for any occasion. But I have two more cards that I want to show you. Look at this beautiful card. Now, this was done from a background stamp. Berry Harvest. And when you stamp this whole background, you're going to have an extra piece, and look what we did with that extra piece. We put it right here on the top of the inside of our card. Something else, because we had a little more time, we went ahead and we embossed the front cover of this card just to give it some more interest. So here is a hello card. We also did another fall card because I love these colors. Look at this. Wishing you many blessings. We added some little leaves on the inside. Take a moment, leave a comment. What do you like about these cards, or which is your favorite? It saves you so much time. You definitely have time to create these cards. Well, we hope you got a little inspiration with today's card and that we showed you don't have enough time. You have enough time for these cards. If you did get a little inspiration, take a moment and give us a thumbs up right below the video and share with your friends. Well, Maudie and I want to wish you a fantastic day, and we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.